Hi drummers, hope you're well. I'm going to talk a little bit here about the shuffle. Now shuffles are great for blues music, great for rock music, great for pop music, just an all-time classic. A shuffle, if we play it on the hi-hat, in the most basic, simple terms here, well, if you consider a straight eighth groove, first of all, like you'd use in pop music or rock music, those straight eighth notes that we're playing on the hi-hat, in a shuffle we're going to swing them, which means we play 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and instead of playing them evenly spaced, we play them as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So it has that lovely lolloping, well, shuffling sort of feel to it. It's actually based on the triplet feel, if you're familiar with that. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, but with the middle note, the trip, if you like, missed out each time. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. In practice, drummers don't usually count like that. They just say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, or even just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's a really nice basic version. Because it's based on the triplet feel, very often when you get to your drum fills, when you're thinking in basic terms at the start, at the beginning here, you can play triplets. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That makes all a bit of sense. Obviously you can play it on the ride as well. Put in whatever variations you like. We can build on that as we go, but this is just the basic sort of feel to get you going. 2 great variations that I love to throw in are the Chicago shuffle. This is when not just your right stick but also your left stick shuffles as well. This works particularly well with the 4 on the floor feel. So that lovely rounded feel. They're both your hands in unison. What you're doing with the left stick is playing really quite quiet notes, ghosted notes or soft notes, except for the big backbeat hit on beat 2 and 4 where you're giving it the normal whack. So your left stick plays 1, 3, 4. And the other great variation I like to throw in at the start is the in the gaps shuffle. This is a bit more tricky, and this is in common with the great all-time great shuffle drummers Bernard Purdie and Steve Gadd, of course, and Jeff Porcaro from Toto. All the great, the usual gods of shuffle. The idea here is you're going to play little quiet notes again, ghosted notes. This time in between the shuffled hi-hat, right? So on the trip, if you like, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. So you've got to fit that in with the big backbeat on 2 and 4 as well. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet. Takes a bit more thinking about that one. I'll notate both of those. In fact, all 3 of these. The basic version, the Chicago shuffle, and this sort of in the gaps shuffle where you've got the ghosted notes. So you can work on that. It might well be, like most people with this really, I guess when you're starting out, you've got to go 1 note at a time. So just take yourself through it. Hi-hat on its own, quiet snare, hi-hat on its own, the first beat, 1 triplet. Then beat 2, the big backbeat hit, so loud snare and hi-hat. Then a ghosted snare, and then a hi-hat on its own. So far, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, and then beats 3 and beats 4, well they're the same. 3 triplet, 4 triplet. So if that one doesn't come together straight away, just an extra little idea to throw in there. So a real basic shuffle groove, of course, hi-hat and the ride. Oh, you can also play right stick on the snare as well. Real old school, like skiffly shuffle on the snare feel. And then the Chicago shuffle where both sticks play together. Love that one, absolutely brilliant way to give, if you're like having a blues jam or you're playing in a blues band, brilliant way to give things a lift, I always think, in certain sections, maybe the guitar solo, for example. And then the in the gap shuffle, really tasteful one with those ghostly notes in between the hi-hat shuffles. Takes a bit of building on that one, but a really tasteful one. Not always the thing, sometimes that's too much, you've got to use your ears and decide. But that's a little basic run through of the shuffles. Hope that all makes a bit of sense. Any questions, give us a shout. See you soon, thanks a lot.